What's going on, guys? Today I want to talk about something, a subject that's actually an old subject, but it seems to have crept its way back into social media. And if you hear this truck behind me, I'm so sorry. There's like a garbage truck that just decided to show up as I'm recording. And God, they're making a lot of noise. But anyway, and that subject is the subject of, it's surrounding the Indiana Jones game. And the subject is people who are saying that they get nauseated whenever they play a first-person game. Now, if you could go back through my channel, you will see that I play a lot of first-person games. In fact, I could pretty much tell you the very first-person game that I ever played was the original Doom on the PC. Yeah, I'm that old. But prior to that, I was basically gaming on console. A friend of mine introduced me to PC gaming when Doom came out, and I played Doom for the first time, and boy, I just fell in love with it, man. And that was my first step into PC gaming. Now, he had consoles as well, but he also had PC. So I've been playing first-person shooters for a very long time, and I've never been the kind of person who buys games without doing research and reading on the games and things like that, getting into the lore from time to time if I'm really interested in it. So when I go into a game, I'm taking in all of the information that I can get on it. And these days, of course, like many other people, I use social media to also do the same thing. I don't make my purchases based on what other people are saying. I use that information in conjunction with the most powerful tool I use. If I'm really kind of up in the air about a game, I'll look at some gameplay. And because I'm not somebody who's really strict about spoilers. I mean, I don't want to know everything about a game, but look, if I look at somebody play the first 30 minutes to an hour of a game or whatever, it doesn't bother me at all whatsoever. It's a whole lot better than me, especially before Steam came along. It's a whole lot better than me purchasing a game and the game sucks and I don't want it. Because back in the day, again, I'm old, they did not have the servers and the technology to update a game and improve a game back in my day. If you bought a game and it sucked, that's just the end of that. It just sucked, and then that was it. You just had to live with it. It went into your library, and that was the end of it. You paid for it, you got what you got. That's it. And that also goes along, by the way, I'm also going to make a video later about this, because there's some people who seem to think that just because they have a disc these days, that means that they're safe from a game, a developer just making it so that you can't play the game and you can no longer access it. That's not true. I don't see why anybody thinks that. You have to understand that if they now have the technology and it's set up to improve your game and make your game better, of course, they can do things like make the game worse, which we've seen updates make the game worse, or they could just make the game, let's say, for example, if they didn't want to just blatantly just cut the game off, they could just act like they're morons and just mess the game up with updates, and they just be like, oh, I'm so sorry, and So, but anyway, that's another topic. Let's get back on topic. But anyway, so I go on social media a lot. When Cyberpunk came out, I was I had a decent experience with Cyberpunk when it first came out. It was really fun. It was a lot of glitches. I had the same experience as people like Young Ye and all that, which is one reason why I kind of defend him, and a few other people who got attacked for giving it a good score, even though they did point out the glitches and all that. People were saying they were being insincere, and I was like, well, look, and I'm not the one to defend Young Ye, but I was like, maybe not, because I kind of had a pretty good experience as well. I was playing it on PC and didn't really realize all the problems that was going on until I woke up the next day. But anyway, I'm really on social media, and I use social media, Twitter, YouTube, conversation threads, and all that. Just about anything you can think of. I read articles, and I look at videos from the developers and all that. So I see a lot of what people are saying about different games, and I was really following Cyberpunk because there were a lot of people, if you was posting videos about Cyberpunk back in the day, which I was doing, there were a lot of people who were really coming at you with vitriol, man. I mean, people really hated it, and I didn't really get back with them like that, like I normally would, because I kind of understood why they were upset. So I tried to talk to people with respect, because I understood that, look, if I would have had that same experience, some people took time off work and all of that, and they were really, really anxious to play this game. So I understood the emotional torment that they were going through. So I was really patient with people. But in all the time that people were complaining about Cyberpunk, I can tell you, I didn't see anybody complaining about it being first person. I'm not saying no one was. I'm one person and I can only talk to so many people and I can only read so many comments. I'm sure that if all the gamers in the world, somebody mentioned it. But right now we're talking about percentages and ratios. Understand, I'm not saying that no one, in fact, let me be clear about something. There are people who are like that, who get nauseous when they play first person games. I know this. But let me say this, in all the years I've been playing first person games, it would not take all of my fingers, I don't believe, to count the number of times that I've seen the subject come up in a thread. And in the past, when it came up, normally people would respond with compassion and say, oh man, I'm really sorry to hear about that. Did you try this? Did you try that? And that's how that normally went. And also on the flip side of that, normally when people were expressing the fact that they experienced being nauseated when playing first person games, they weren't going at the developer like it was their fault, like they were blaming them for something for making a first person game. They were just like, oh man, wow, I really wish I could play this, this, that, and the other. It was just like, wow, just unfortunate, right? Not like, this was stupid. Oh, what the hell? This is just ignorant. This is so stupid. They should have gone third person. It was never like that. Not anything I ever read until recently. Because now that's the thing with Indiana Jones, right? Let me put it to you this way. You could take all the times I've heard in the past people bring this subject up, and I told you, I don't even think it would take all 10 of my fingers to count the number of times I've even seen the subject come up. And it would even come close to the number of times I've heard this subject come up with vitriol when it comes to Indiana Jones. It doesn't even come close. I have seen so many people beating the hell out of this dead horse about the first person view in Indiana Jones. It's just astounding. It's incredible. So that alone lets you know it's not like Indiana Jones is the first person video game on the planet. It's in fact, there were people who were disappointed about Cyberpunk when they went first person. And there were people a little bit agitated about it, right? But pretty soon, people stopped talking about it. And then a lot of people were like, well, hopefully somebody will make a mod, which I think somebody did, and where you could go third person. In fact, I know someone did. It was okay. It wasn't great. That was a long time ago. Maybe it's better now. But anyway, it was just different. It was a different feel, and the conversation didn't just continue on and continue on and continue on. And there are people who are like, why are people attacking me for saying that I get nauseated when I'm just saying I get nauseated? I don't like, I don't play first person games. I get nauseated. And by the way, all this footage you see in this video is footage that you can find on my channel. This is all my gameplay on this channel. In fact, the gameplay is usually my gameplay, like 95% of the time, unless for some other reason I clip somebody else. But here's what I want to say. And I'm going to kind of defend the people who are going at people, because I don't really see anybody going at people hard. I just see people kind of like, yeah, whatever. Basically saying they think these people are full of shit is what they're telling them, right? And here's the reason why. And I'm only talking to the people who are sincere when they say they get nauseated. The people who are insincere, I give a damn what you think, because you're not really emotionally into this anyway. You're not telling the truth. You're being dishonest. So this is not for you. But this is for the people who really do experience this, and you say it and you get attacked. Here's why you're being attacked. I'm sure that even young people here have heard the story about the little boy that cried wolf. He cried wolf so many times as a joke, and when people came to his rescue, they realized that it was a joke. Well, one day he really saw a wolf. This is the short version. He saw a wolf, and he cried out, and nobody came to rescue him. So that's what we have going on here. You've got so many people using this talking point about Indiana Jones shouldn't have been a third person. Bethesda should have known better. They should have considered the people who get nauseated when they play video games, right? What they really wanted Bethesda to do was try to copy PlayStation games so that they could use that to beat that over the head of Bethesda and Xbox players. Xbox players really, because I think even they know that really Bethesda don't give a damn what they say. I think they understand that. So, but they wanted to use it against Xbox players. and people who love Game Pass. This is why you're experiencing this. And I want to say, for those who really experience this, I'm sorry that you cannot experience these wonderful games. It seems like I read somewhere a long time ago, I'm not really sure, maybe you can look into it. There's some kind of glasses or something that you can wear to help alleviate that nauseating feeling that you get when you play first-person shooters or first-person games in general. But yeah, they wanted Bethesda to try to copy Uncharted. And what they're really upset about is that they didn't do it. In fact, the game is so different from Uncharted that it just upsets them. It's different in every way, in terms of the first person view, the narrative, the fact that it's largely stealth based. Stealth is encouraged. They're just upset because they wanted to use this game. They didn't want to look like idiots using this game in console wars like they look now, talking about first person so much. And this is the thing, whenever you start using a talking point and you become a chorus and this is just used over and over and over again. I'll give you an example. There's there's actually a couple of Starfield groups that I'm in, and I don't know why these people allow, you go into the group and then they ask you these questions like they're going to be really strict, like they're only going to take people who love Starfield. And you find that you go in and you find that they're allowing trolls to be in the group. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I took all that time to answer all your questions like I was trying to get a job with the CIA. And I get into the group and I find out that you're allowing trolls in the group anyway. What am I answering these questions for? If I had a Starfield group, which I do, I'm going to start promoting it. Like, I don't know why I don't promote it, but anyway, I'm not going to allow any. The only way you're going to be in the group is if you love Starfield. It's not a debate about whether Starfield is a good game or not. It's for people who love Starfield. Why would I allow a troll, someone who doesn't like Starfield, in the group? And as someone who doesn't like Starfield, why would you even want to be in a group like that? That's kind of pathetic, actually. But anyway, I noticed that in the last 2 weeks, in one of these groups, the subject of how weak the grenades are in Starfield has come up. And to be honest with you, I noticed a long time ago that the grenades in Starfield really were weak. I threw them into a room, and I'm somebody who loves grenades. And how it came up, well, it's not how it came up. I'll tell you, but I'll make that point later. I'm getting ahead of myself. But I love grenades, man. In fact, when I used to play Mass Effect 3 in their online gameplay, I had built my grenades up so much, man, that I didn't even hardly even have to use my weapon, man. It felt so good to find that when you went back to the pickup area at the end of playing your mission, and these guys are coming up through these hallways trying to come get you. And man, I was throwing my grenades into those hallways, and man, they had good ragdoll physics, man. It was so satisfying to watch about 8 or 9 of those dudes just all collapse and die at the same time as a result of my grenades. And I never really had my earphones on because I've always been the type of person, I really don't like to talk to people when I'm playing online, even though it's cooperative or whatever. But I could hear them coming. I could hear the people who were talking through my surround sound, and I could faintly hear them saying like, "Damn, Killer Chris, with those damn grenades, damn, fuck, because I'm just like killing like so many people all at once." So I love powerful grenades. So I did notice a long time ago that Starfield has weak grenades, right? Even the stats on the grenades really aren't that high. I wish they had it where when you go in, kind of like you can increase the stats on your weapons. I wish you could do that with grenades. And I'm sure they have a mod out like that now. But I'm speaking about the base game. So the subject came up, and I'm one of those people, look, once I see something like that, I'm like, oh, okay, that should be improved. And I just move on. So about 2 weeks ago, I noticed the subject in this group kept coming up about the grenades. And then I noticed it started coming up so much, right? And they were talking about how the mines were useless and this, that, and the other. Well, one day I actually posted a video of me in the group using mines to take out some alien creatures. And it didn't have anything to do with the subject of mines and grenades being weak. I just thought people would be interested in seeing it because it was one of my most fond memories. In fact, if I can think about it, I'm probably going to put that in this video while I'm talking about it right now, so you see exactly what I'm talking about. And man, these people got mad because, you know, there were people who were like, wow, that's great, man. Man, that looks like a lot of fun. Where is that planet? They wanted to go play it. But then there were some people, you can tell they were kind of mad because I'm showing myself having fun, and it was low G area, so I'm throwing the grenades like a Frisbee. And as hopefully you can see, hopefully I'll remember to put it in here, but they were getting angry because they had invested so much time in beating up the grenades that to have this video come out is kind of like counter to the message they're trying to push, right? So it was just amazing to me that all these people, all of a sudden, this game came out in December, September of last year. This game is a year old, and here it is. You're just now noticing how weak the grenades are, and you're beating I mean, it's like post after post after post after post. So what I'm trying to say by saying all this, many times people will latch on to the same talking point. Like if they don't like a game for some reason and they have some agenda why they want to attack the game, they'll take something negative that someone is saying about the game and then they'll also start saying it. And that's basically what we have here when it comes to people being nauseous when they play first-person games, because people simply don't talk about that subject that much. Now, I did watch a video about 5 years ago. I forgot what channel it was. I could just remember it was a man and a lady. They were talking about it. The video itself was about being nauseated when you play first-person games, because the woman in the video, that's what she experienced. The guy loved it, and they were talking about it. So in that situation, you can see it coming up because that's what the video was about. But if you go back, and I'm reaching for my phone here. If you go back and you look up games like Cyberpunk, Metro Exodus, any of the Metro Exodus, Doom, Far Cry, Wolfenstein, Halo, Call of Duty, Dead Island, you won't see that. You would really have to do hella scrolling to see that subject come up. But in a lot of Indiana Jones videos, your chances of seeing that subject come up is a lot higher in an Indiana Jones video than it is in any of these other titles that I just called off. People just don't talk about it that much. So that is why when you see people online not taking people seriously when they're complaining about how they get nauseated when they play first-person games, that's the reason why. Because the subject is coming up an unusual number of times. And I'm not defending, because I don't believe that, like, even if I see someone say that, I'm not gonna say anything. Sorry if you heard that, that's my phone. But I'm not gonna say anything. You know, I'm just, even if it's clear that the person is full of shit, even if it's clear that they're trolling, I'm still not gonna say anything. So I'm not condoning doing that. I'm merely explaining why it's happening. If you're one of these people out here who just keeps beating that dead horse, you have to understand that you have abused this point of view, this topic matter so much that, yeah, it's useless even to you now, because now even the people who are genuinely experiencing this thing, even they aren't taken seriously. So now what you've done, you've turned this topic, this serious topic that probably seriously needs to be discussed, you've turned it into a joke. So now that talking point, even to you, has now become useless because you guys have used it way too much. But anyway, I'm not gonna get, man, 21 minutes? I didn't know I had been talking that long. But anyway, a little editing should take care of that if I even decide to edit this video. But I just wanted to talk about this, and I don't want to really go too long because, wow, much longer than I originally, man, I was looking at 10 or 15 minutes. But anyway, hey guys, look, go down to the comments, comment all you want, just be respectful. That's all I ask. I don't care if you disagree with me, if you don't disagree with me, I just really don't care. I don't even care if you go down there and say something foolish about being nauseated for, in first-person games. I don't care. I don't care. As long as you say it respectfully and you're not attacking anyone or something like that. But anyway, guys, let me go ahead and cut this off. Hey guys, look, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe and then click the bell so that you will be notified when I upload a video. And we're going to go ahead and end it here. And as usual, guys, stay safe.